Um, yeah, I still don't know anything about going live on YouTube yet. Uh, so I don't know if it was like trying to line people up. Because it said like zero waiting, but the last time it said zero waiting, and then when I went live anyway, there was like 30 people in there. So I just hit the button anyway. But yeah, it's been like, I guess it was a week ago today, and I did the last live. Oh, two people are here. What's up, y'all? Um, and actually, I should have went live again that day because uh, I actually met Bam Margera, and that was cool as hell. And then, like after it was over, I was like, why didn't I go live on YouTube while while that was happening? But yeah, I turned around and Bam Margera was petting my dog. Uh, so I got to meet him. I actually wanted to meet him for several years. Good morning, G. Um, how you doing today? I slept super late because I usually got to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Although this week I've been like rained out of work almost all week. I had to work yesterday. Other than that, I showed up Monday morning and they like shut us down. Nice. What's up, Scott? I don't envy you. I've been to Newark, New Jersey. Um, but yeah, I slept super late this morning, and I don't know. So I'm sure like most of you guys probably follow like Joe Guerrero in the After Prison show. Like that's where all my subscribers came from, pretty much. I just got a couple more, or I don't know if I got any on YouTube or not. But he just made some TikTok videos. Like he cut and pasted like the interviews that we did, and I guess they're like doing super good. Like one of them, the one he did like 2 days ago, it's got almost 100,000 views, and then he put another one up yesterday, and it's got like over 40. Um, but yeah, I don't know. That's cool, I guess. But so yeah, I was just like rewatching that stuff, and I saw like I was like rereading like the comments on those videos that I did with him, and like a lot of people were like super supportive, and I was like feeling kind of guilty, like man, I gotta do a video. I feel like I'm letting people down. Oh, nice. Yeah, Louisville's not too bad. I like Kentucky. I almost actually like I was about to buy a house in Burkesville, Kentucky, which is only like an hour from where my family lives, and I was about to go like $100,000 in debt at a high interest rate, and I oh, Joe is freaking awesome. Like he's cool. Like we've actually been talking the last couple days, and he wants after those TikTok videos did so good. Like he wants to have me back on the show. I guess we're just gonna, yep, Lake Cumberland. Um, I look like the CEO of a pumpkin patch. Maybe I am. Uh, Farmers are cool. Ponca City, Oklahoma. What's up, Coda? Thank you guys for coming. Appreciate it. But yeah, Joe. Gotta turn these or at least turn my phone on silent. Will mess up my live stream. Um, so yeah, I guess we're just gonna record ourselves talking. I don't even know what we're gonna talk about, but yeah, Del Hollow. That's more in my neck of the woods. I always thought Del Hollow and Lake Cumberland were like the same lake, and they were just divided by the state lines. But somebody told me that's not true a while back. Like it's a separate lake. Hey, what's good? The man, the myth, the legend. What's up, bro? What's crazy? I'm not sure. Like, I forgot what I even just said 10 seconds ago. Oh, no, I was saying, the guy was just talking about Lake Cumberland, and he said he prefers Del Hollow Lake. I said, I used to think, so I thought it was just one big ass lake. and it was like once you go over the Kentucky state line, they call it Lake Cumberland, but on the Tennessee side, it's called Dale Hollow Lake. But somebody told me not that long ago that that's not really true. That it's a totally other lake, but maybe I was wrong. I'm usually right, but not always. That's what's up, Hank. Um, so yeah, I don't even really know what I'm gonna talk about today. I was thinking maybe I might make some breakfast. Might do a cooking live. Y'all want to see me cook? Right. Hell yeah. Yep. I don't know where I got that from. I maybe I just like assumed it. Do you know what they say when you assume? Um, but yeah, hanging out with old BB. Say hi, BB. Say hi, baby. So, I really need to go to the grocery store. Um, so I don't even have a lot of. Thank you, HR. Um, I have not seen what happened to Maul. Um, so I was thinking about making biscuits. Like in Tennessee, we have this thing where we eat. We make so biscuits and gravy is a big thing down south, and we also like this is like a Tennessee. We eat chocolate gravy, and to make chocolate gravy, all you need is cocoa, flour, sugar, and milk. But I don't have any cocoa. Um, cool. No, I've not seen what happened to my balls, or your balls, or anybody's balls, because I don't really look at balls. Um, hey, thank you. But I do got some biscuits, and I got an air fryer, and you can make biscuits in the air fryer, like frozen biscuits. And I got Nutella, so I was thinking I could probably make some chocolate gravy out of Nutella. Hello, Dan. What's up, man? What's up, Nut Man? um, or I could make biscuits and gravy because I do have Goolsby sausage. I know my friend Kim's gonna be mad at me because well, I tried to be a vegetarian or a vegan or a few months back, and I couldn't do it. Yes, improvise, adapt, overcome. I like it. But yeah, Kim's gonna be mad at me if I cook up some sausage. Like she made me watch this documentary called Earthlings, and it's pretty it's pretty hardcore. Showing like how animals that we eat get treated, and it. But hey, what's up, Trey? But I was raised up eating sausage and bacon and pigs, and I'll eat a hog's ass. Like I tried to to go vegan and just eat nothing but like mangoes and cottage. Well, really, cottage cheese ain't even vegan because it's a animal product. Um, yeah, yeah, I do too. I always like bacon, and I like bacon gravy. And I was never really a sausage guy, but my grandpa put me onto this, and ever since I started eating this, like I like sausage now. I don't know if you guys can get this stuff where you're from, but Goolsby sausage is fire. Matter of fact, I might as well just cook some up. I'm gonna show y'all how we get down. I gotta have some type of content, right? So, oh, I got some flour here. Boom, I can make gravy. Biscuits. Let's get the biscuits out and show y'all how we cook in a houseboat. I don't have a regular oven or anything, but I got this air fryer, and the air fryers are badass. You can yeah, that's about how long I lasted too. I think I might have lasted 3 days trying to go vegan. Like, I love mangoes, so I was like, well, I love mangoes so much I can just eat nothing but mangoes. But no, after like 3 days, I wanted a hamburger. So I get Goolsby sausage at Walmart, but they have it. I've seen it at several other stores. Like it might only be in this area. Like you guys might not be able to get it where you're from. But I would keep an eye out for it. If you ever see it, get some. So I got these Pillsbury frozen biscuits. You just throw those in the air fryer. There we go. You don't even got to preheat it or nothing. Throw them bad boys in there like that. So power on. Turn the temperature down. I'll turn it down about 325. Cook. You don't even need 20 minutes. Probably 10 minutes they're going to be right. If they're not good enough, I'll put them in for like another 2. But the last time I cooked them on 350, and they was a little bit doughy in the middle, so I had to break them open and cook them again. Good morning, Michael. Awesome. Thank all you guys. I appreciate all you guys subscribing and all you guys listening. I know I'm not that interesting, but hey, Jessica. Nice to meet you too. I spent a little time in New Jersey, but you probably already know that. Okay, so are we gonna make chocolate? I was thinking I could make chocolate Nutella biscuits with whipped cream. That would be like, oh no, we done got the sausage out. What am I talking about? So I got this little thing. So plug this in. Sorry, I'm hood and I don't have outlet covers. I got some somewhere. I took them off to paint these walls because when I bought this, I'm diagnosed with PTSD. No, I'm not making donuts. I'm making biscuits and gravy, but I could make donuts. I can make some pretty bomb-ass donuts. Hey, I appreciate that, Michael. I do. Thank you so much, man. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, we love chocolate gravy in Tennessee, and one of these days I'll make that for you. You guys should try it. Like it's a Tennessee thing. Like nobody else has ever even heard of chocolate. Like if you talk about that outside of the state of Tennessee, people look at you like you're weird. But it's badass. But basically all it is, like if you could find a recipe for chocolate pies, like a chocolate meringue pie, it's chocolate pie filling. You take, I can't remember if it's a whole stick of, I guess it just depends on how much you want to make. And like I don't even measure shit. Like I just throw some butter in there, you melt it, and you put some sugar in it, stir it up in a like saute pan. Then put some cocoa, like a big, like a heaping tablespoon of cocoa. Stir that all up, flour, and then put the milk to it and stir it in. But you want to get all like your powder ingredients all mixed together and blended together first before you put the milk in. Otherwise, it'll get clumpy. Hey man, hit me up if you come down here. I'm only like about 30 miles out, like northeast of Nashville. Nashville is cool. So I said in my interview with Joe, like I rarely drink, and y'all are probably gonna think I'm a drunk now, because I drank some on the last live I did because I was nervous about doing it, and I was like, well, it would be easier for me to talk, like I open up and I'm not as nervous. So I drank last Friday night on the live. Then Saturday, me and my friend Josh, we hadn't seen each other in years, and we went to the Old Smoky Moonshine distillery and took a little sample test, and then he was like, well, we're just at downtown, we can walk to downtown from here. So we went to downtown Nashville with BB, and she actually it was a little too much for her. She got these like cysts on her elbows and stuff, and she was I guess she was sore, for a couple days after that. Like I didn't know if she was gonna snack out of it, but she's good now. But yeah, BB was stove up from all that walking. Yeah, one of these days, I keep thinking about it. I'm gonna show you guys how to make moonshine in your bedroom or in your jail cell. But yeah, it's super easy to do, really. Typical weekend for me. So I've had this job now going on 4 months, and this is the first weekend that I haven't gone back to my parents' house. Like yeah, you can make it out of anything, Jessica. Um, but yeah, this is the first weekend in like 4 months I haven't gone home to see my parents. Basically, I work all week. You guys know that. I drive a dump truck at a power plant owned by the U.S. government, and normally I work Monday through Friday, and then either Friday night or Saturday morning I go back home to my parents because usually one of two or three of my brothers are there, and I had to spend so much time away from my family that now I feel like, you know, I need to see them like as much as I possibly can, because we're not getting any younger. My parents are getting older, and I know one of these days, like if I don't try to spend as much time with my family, like I feel like I got a lot of making up to do, if that makes any sense. I gotta make up for lost time. And I'm sitting here talking, I didn't even have the stove thing on. Nice. Yeah, yeah. I mean, me and my dad, like when I was young, we didn't really get along, and I always felt like I disappointed him, like I wasn't what he wanted me to be. Uh, well, I know he was proud of me because I would stand up for myself. But I felt like that was the only thing my dad was ever proud of me for. Like, you know, I wasn't good at working on cars, and I don't know. Like it's been a long road, but my dad. Hold on, I better turn my air conditioner off. The other day it flipped my breaker when I had the air fryer. Now I got the air fryer and the stove eye and the air conditioner on, so I'm surprised that didn't knock my power out. When I visit my family, usually they put me to work. As soon as I get there, my dad's like, pressure wash the front porch, or come on, we got work to do in the garden. But I don't mind it. I like, he literally put up his whole life savings to bail me out of jail. So, when he did that, like, I knew he loved me. I guess you could just say that. And so for the last several years, pretty much since I got out, me and my dad have been closer than we've ever been. And I've always been super close with my mom. Like my mom's my best friend. She's the person that like. I'm 43 years old and I still call my mom like for everything. Like I've been looking at getting a different vehicle, because I drive a Lincoln Navigator and it's got like 224,000 miles on it now. So I'm trying to find a really good deal on something that gets better gas mileage. So I've been looking at like Nissan Altimas and Chevy Malibus. I'm trying to get like 40 miles a gallon. Oh, I hate to hear that, Jessica. Well, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope I didn't miss any questions. I'm trying to keep up with everybody. If I didn't, like, if somebody asked me something and I didn't respond, that it wasn't on purpose. So just ask me again, and if I didn't respond to you. So my parents live. It's about, with no traffic at all, I get there in an hour and 15 minutes. But usually, like if I was to try, like that's why I usually go on Saturday mornings instead of Friday after work, or I'll come home for a couple hours and let the traffic die down, because at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, when everybody's getting out of work, there's a lot of traffic around here, so it'll take me about an hour and 45 minutes to get home. But yeah, Goolsby sausage is fire, you guys. I can't. It's so weird. Like I've never even ate sausage before. before eating this stuff. Did you guys see my houseboat tour? Check out my bathroom, man. My friend Stan did all this for me. I got a sink in my shower. But yeah, that's pretty cool, right? I like my old shower. Well, there's 11 of you guys here. I was hoping that some more people would show up. But it's cool if it's just you guys. I'm cool with it. Butter. Butter. Real butter. Salted butter. Biscuits look pretty good. Boom. Just make sure they're done in the middle. I might not be able to do that and hold the phone at the same time. But they should be. This thing is weird because it won't let me lay my phone down sideways. Yeah, it says orientation is locked. Rotate device back. Yeah, real butter for sure. Ow, that's hot. So I think these biscuits are still a little bit doughy in the middle, even though I turned the temperature down. I guess maybe I have to put them on 300 next time. They're not bad, but actually that one's good. That one is a little doughy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half and put them back in there, like open them up and put them back in there for like 2 more minutes. This air fryer is still badass, even though it left my biscuits a little doughy. Kim is gonna be so pissed I'm cooking pigs. But I promise you guys, even if you don't like sausage, try Walmart brand, like Walmart brand sausage. My dream acoustic guitar, a Martin. I actually, like, my ex-girlfriend, we met on Facebook. I woke up one day and it was like, say hi to your new Facebook friend. And I seriously didn't even remember, like, accepting her friend request. But it looked like a fake profile. Like, she was so hot, you know. I'm like, there ain't no way this girl is real. But I looked at a profile and it looks like it might be a real profile. So I sent her a message and was like, hey, I don't really remember sending you a friend request, but I don't really send friend requests to people I don't know. So you're like, you must have said something that really impressed me, you know, for me to send you a friend request. And she was like, no, actually I sent you a friend request. She said, you popped up in people I may know, and I was attracted to your energy. And I was like, yeah, I guarantee it. But I talked to her for like I think we started talking in August, and then in October the 9th, like, I went to meet her, and we were together for like 9 months. But our first date, like when I first met her, she took me to the Martin Guitar Factory, and what's up, Playing Indies? And she took me to the Martin Factory, and those guitars are just so bad. Like, I sang to her, and I could just look in her eyes and be like, yeah, I got her. She was in love, but she was one of them super hot girls with like 100 million followers on TikTok, and you know, I couldn't. You just can't compete with that. Like, you know, she's got 90 million dudes telling her how hot she is. Oh, I know. Like, my head touches the ceiling in here. Crazy, huh? I always hit my head coming in the door, and I hit my head on this shower right here. See? Boom. So, yeah, I wish the ceiling was like 4 inches higher. It would be way cooler. But I get by. I actually love this place, man. This area where I'm living in is super expensive to live in. Like, you're gonna pay like $2,500 for a one-bedroom apartment, and $2,500 a month rent, and it just like I pay $455 a month in boat slip rental fee plus electric, so it costs me like $500 a month to live here. Yeah, Tennessee, man. Tennessee used to be it used to be cheap to live. Like the town where I'm from, Cookeville. It was in like Consumer Reports like years ago, and they said it was the most affordable place to live, the most affordable city to live in the United States. The sausage is getting grease all over my counter. But it's not anymore. When I was in college, I paid $400 a month for a 2-bedroom. Yeah, I said 2,500. There are places for 3,500. So before I got this boat, I saw a little house. It was a nice house. I think it was a 2-bedroom, and it was nice. And it was here in this area in Gallatin. And I messaged them and asked how much it was for rent. Yeah, I'm cooking. I'm making biscuits and gravy. This is a staple of the South where I'm from. This is a big thing in Tennessee. So, somebody's calling me on Discord, but I can't really do that right now because I'm live on YouTube. That dude is cool though. I talked to him the other day. Like, he's a super cool guy. I wish there was a way that I could tell him like, hey, I'm live on YouTube right now, but I'm afraid I'm gonna hang up on you guys, and I don't want to do that. So one thing about my little stove out here, once it gets so hot, it'll shut itself down, and then I have to kind of like turn it down and wait for it to cool off again. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, I just gotta tilt my head a little bit when I walk around. Like I can make do with it. It's not too terrible. I just bust my head when I go in the bathroom. One of these days, maybe I'll learn to duck. Yes, we should definitely play zombies. I paid like the $60 or whatever for the PlayStation Plus subscription, and that was like a month ago. I renewed it. Like, I let it run out for several months and never renewed it. But my brother is big into Diablo, and so he was, giving me grief because I hadn't played Diablo with him. So I renewed my subscription, but I still haven't got on there and played. But yeah, man, you just let me know, and I will log on into there, and we will play some zombies. For sure. I love that game. So you could play Diablo with me and my brother. No, I'm not in a band. I've never been in a band. I've kind of always wanted to be. Like, I didn't really think I was like good enough to be in a band, really. And like, to be honest, like I didn't even until a couple of years ago, I couldn't even play guitar. Like, I just really started teaching myself to do it not that long ago. And I always used to sing, but I never sang in front of people. I would sing in like the shower and stuff. But so I did a open mic night, and yeah, I've been to LA too. It's insane there. But I did an open mic night in California, and like everybody there was like, man, that was awesome. Like, nobody good ever comes here. Like, and they were asking me, they were like, come back. And I think I went back one time, and then I didn't go anymore because I was always working and stuff. Yeah, I don't know how they expect people to pay these crazy prices for rent and gas and food. Like, I guess that's why they call it the rat race, because you're always working and trying to get somewhere, but you ain't never going anywhere. You just staying in the same. You're just working to put gas in your car to go back to work. Hey, Norma Joe, what's up? Good morning to you too. Yeah, that's true. Um, so I'm really hoping that the housing market crashes. I know people that got a $500,000 in their houses don't want to hear that, but for me to ever be able to afford to buy a house, it's they're gonna have to get cheaper, because in Tennessee, so where I'm from, like 5 6 years ago, for $100,000 you could buy a nice house, like a decent, pretty nice house. Now for $100,000 you can't buy a beat up trailer. Like for an acre of land and a beat up trailer, they want 100 grand for a 30-year-old single wide trailer. It's crazy. Double wide trailer, you're paying 150 to 200 grand for a double wide and a acre of land. And anyway, let's see if we can get this back up heating. So now I got the biscuits done. Now we're gonna make the gravy. So basically all you do, chop this sausage up. You want all that grease in there. Matter of fact, this Goolsby sausage is like super lean, so it doesn't make a lot of grease. So I've actually got some saved, and I'm gonna put some extra grease in there. So you do this, chop that up. Throw my extra grease in here. It's not much, but it's a little bit. Okay. I think my thing's starting to heat back up. Like I said, it kind of turned itself off because it's cheap and it got too hot, so it does that when it gets hot. Hold on, I'm gonna set this down real quick while I open up this flour. And again, I don't even measure stuff. I just pour it in there. You don't want too much. Maybe about 1 big tablespoon, or possibly 2, depending on how much you want to make. I hope I got enough milk for this. I'm almost out of milk. Oh wait, I'm supposed to be showing you guys. So I'm gonna put just a little bit more flour. Mix it all up. You gotta mix it all up good, or if you don't, when you put the milk in there, like, you're gonna have clumpy gravy, and that's a no-no. Okay. So stir that all up. Now I gotta get some milk. My dog is good. Say hi, baby. Say hi, baby. Hi, baby. I was saying, but I think it was before you got on here. The milk is outside because my refrigerator in here, this refrigerator, hey, there's Martin Guitars. because this refrigerator, it don't get cold enough. So I pretty much just use it as like a pantry. So my refrigerator outside is brand new. I don't know, I guess maybe I should replace this one in here, but it was like that when I bought this place. The freezer works good, but the refrigerator just barely gets cool, you know. So I can't keep milk in it or my milk will go bad. Baby's wanting some of this. Okay, put a little bit more milk. Basically, once you do this enough, you'll get good at it. So now, what you want to add is a little bit of salt. Not too much because that sausage has already got some salt in it. And then the trick to really good gravy is, if I could find it, here it is. Black pepper. And it's better when it's freshly ground, you know. But I like a lot of pepper in it. So, and you want to kind of you got to keep stirring it too, or it'll get clumpy. Like you don't want to burn it. So it's almost done. It's going to thicken up. As soon as it gets hot, it's going to be thick. Then might as well get the biscuits ready because this is almost done. As soon as it comes to a boil, it's going to thicken up. Guess we better give BB some too. Yes, Kaleidoscope, Vision, Biscuits and Gravy. Is this a whole meal for me? Yes, this is a whole meal for me. Yep, you got it, Onyx Angel. Only I use pink Himalayan salt instead of Lowry's. Yes, my dog is BB. Her real name is Queen Boudica Blueface. You might know of that name if you're since you're from Europe. But Boudica she was a Celtic, a queen of the Iceni tribe. And the Romans killed her husband, like in 300 something AD, like the Romans came over and invaded that land, and they stood up against the Romans' occupation, and her husband was the king of the Icenes, and the Romans killed him, and she rallied his troops up and marched into battle, and kind of like the last stand of the 300, she took a bunch of them out with her. They killed them. They all died, but they kicked ass before going. They threw a couple of them bastards down the hill to catch their fall. So this is it's kind of like a matter of preference. Some people like thinner gravy, some people like it thicker. I guess I like it kind of medium. It's still just a little bit thin. So I'm gonna wait for another minute or so. My stove might have kicked itself off again. Well, we got 9 people here. I'm glad you guys came. Brian, previous were Ben and Buster. Nice. Brian, that's like the dog on Family Guy. Nope, my stove didn't kick off. It's still going. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and give BB hers. I need like a ladle, but I don't have one. Wait, I'm gonna have to do this like this because I need both my hands. Okay. There you go, BB. Don't burn yourself. Looks like everybody's leaving. If you guys are getting bored, y'all want to ask me some questions, I'll answer them for you. You want to talk about prison stuff or whatever the hell y'all want to talk about, ask me something. So that is biscuits and gravy. This is what we eat in Tennessee. That's country food. How fast did I get home last week? So actually, you probably missed that part too. But I met Bam Margera last weekend, and then I hung out with my friend all night in downtown Nashville. And I went home about 5 o'clock in the morning last Saturday after staying up all night. I actually got pulled over. Oh, I'm about to be making a new video too because something pretty crazy happened to me. And I want to just tell you guys right now. But Joe wants me to make the video and send it to him. And I think he's going to help me, like maybe do a thumbnail for it or something. But something kind of crazy happened to me, and I'm going to make a video about it. Okay, now I need to turn my AC back on because it's hot in here. But yeah, I'm going to... Shoot. Excuse me. But, yeah, like I hate to say, oh, I got to tell you guys something and then not tell you. But I don't want Joe to get mad at me because he told me to send him the video first. So, no, I actually tried to do that last night, right? The super chat thing. I wasn't even going to do it. But this girl that I talked to, so she's kind of my girlfriend, I guess. But this is a crazy story. We'd never even met each other. Like, when I broke up with my ex, or really my ex broke up with me, it was a little over a year ago. And I was pretty heartbroken over it. And a friend of mine, okay, yeah, I'll check it out. So yeah, Bam, he looked old and fat, just like me. You know, like he didn't look like he was like coked out or anything. But the chicks he was with kind of, no comment. But yeah, I don't know, like, I don't think he's drinking anyway. Oh, I'm a little bit husky. I could definitely tone up some. But what was I saying? Oh yeah. So about the super likes, the I was telling. So I talk to this girl every day. I've been talking to her for over a year, and you know, she really likes me. She, you know, for all intents and purposes, you know, I mean, I guess like she's like my girlfriend, but she don't get out for like 6 more years. She wants me to tell her that I'm going to wait for her and all that. And like I told her when we first started talking, like I don't want you to get your feelings hurt and all this, like because I was just talking to her to like get over my ex for somebody to talk to. And but you know she wants me to like wait for 6 years for her, and I'm 43 years old. You know, like, and it's just I can't just tell her like, yeah, man, I'll wait for you till I'm 50. Uh, you know, so that's a real weird situation. But anyway, yeah, BB weighs 96 pounds. Um, and anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so anyway, she keeps. So I was telling her like, yeah, people were telling me to start a Patreon and to enable super likes and stuff, and they want to like give me money, but I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not a taker. I'm a giver. You know, so it's just really strange for me to, you know, I would never ask anybody, but that's what she's saying. Well, if they want to give it to you, let them give it to you. And but last night she would not. She was like, force me to, because I was like, well, I can't even do it on my phone. I have to have a PC. And but I haven't. So basically, she forced me to get out my laptop last night, and I tried to do it, but to enable super likes, you have to have like 3,000 watched hours, and I've only got 1,600 watched hours. So I mean, if I keep, um, she asked me for money and help. How do you know you're the only one for her? I mean, so she did ask me to buy her she doesn't usually ask me for money, but she asked me if I would buy her some headphones the other day because she calls and like I do like sing to her and stuff, and I guess it like it's weird. Like I've got a cheap phone, and when I use the cheap phone, she can hear me good. But when I use like these expensive Samsung Galaxy phones, like these $1,000 phones, it like cuts out. And anyway, she wanted to see if she got a better pair of headphones if she could hear me. So I bought her some headphones. But yeah, I have to have like 3,000. I'm just a little over halfway there for that. But I also have to have like 3 million views on shorts, and I've never made a short before. Don't even know how to make a short. But but Joe actually, maybe he can help me with this because I don't know if I already said this to you guys or not, but yeah, he made some TikToks. He made one yesterday, and he made one the day before yesterday, and they have, the one from yesterday has like almost 50,000 views, and the one from 2 days ago has almost 100,000 views. So yeah, I'm not gonna be able to enable super likes until I have 3 million short views and another 1,400 watched hours. Right? Yeah, I don't know too much about it. You know, like this, the whole social media thing is super new to me. Even though I've been out for years now, you know, I just never really got into it. Like I've had Twitter, I've got Snapchat, I've got TikTok, I've got Facebook, I've got Instagram, I got all that, but I never really use any of them. Yeah, yeah, she's in. I think I told you that. She's in the Ohio Reformatory for Women. Um, so I don't know. Maybe I will look into getting a Patreon. If you know, I at this point I don't think I'm not that. I don't have that many subscribers or followers. You know, but if I ever did get a substantial number of decent sized following, you know, maybe I should look into that. Yes, I have fed the turtles. Probably go out and feed them again at some point. Um, Yeah, Onyx Angel. So actually, I am kind of exclusive to her, but that's just because I'm a hermit and don't ever really meet anybody. Um, I met a girl named Abby a couple weeks ago. We went to that. She invited me to that sweat lodge, and we went, and she was cool. But yeah, it's not like I don't have a banging ass sex life or anything. I don't really meet anybody, but she's pretty much the only girl I talk to. Um, I don't think so. I mean, maybe a little bit less of a hermit before prison, but so like when I was 19 to 27, till I went into prison in New Jersey, I had a girlfriend, and pretty much she was like my first serious girlfriend, and I never loved anybody like I loved her. That was like my first love, and I kind of almost want to say only love in a way. Like yeah, I've loved people, but not like that. But that's a whole long heartbreaking story. But she actually died, and but anyway, so from the time I was 19 to the time I went to prison, I was like that she was basically my wife. Like I don't really believe in traditional marriage and having the government all up in my business. So for all intents and purposes, I was faithful to her, and I felt like God had given me her, and if I didn't treat her right, then it would just, like it was. I loved her. We'll just put it like that. What do you think has changed about you between before and after prison? So So I'm a lot more of a spiritual person since going through the things that I went through, and like especially like the psychic telling me all about even when it was going to happen, that the whole law of attraction thing, making that list. Like I made a list. Like I saw this dog in my mind, like she's exactly what I wanted, a blue and white, just big beastie ass girl, a dog, female. I wanted a female, but I wanted her to be able to beat any boy's ass. And it's like the house that I ended up buying. It's exact like it, like I dreamed of all this. Like that, it just blows my mind. Like this isn't real. Like this has to be a dream. Um, so yeah, very very positive. People always tell me I'm sorry that happened to you. And I always say the same thing. Like I'm not sorry because going through the things that I've went through has turned me into the person that I am now. And I'm not saying I'm the shit, but I got a good heart, and I try. Like I'm trying really hard to to uh, to be the best I can be, and to set an example to influence others to want to be the best they can be too. Um, but yeah, the law of attraction thing, making that list and all the things coming true, and that lady's name was Miss Seraphim, and I still to this day like wonder like was that a real angel? And then I don't know if you guys saw my angel numbers videos, but I got tripped out over that too. I started seeing like these girls with these tattoos on them in sequential order. I saw 111, then a girl with 222, then a girl with 333, then a girl, and I was just it just blew my mind away. And like I actually asked the girl with the 333, I was like, "Are you a real angel?" And she looked at me like crazy as hell, like I was like trying to hit on her or something, and like walked off. So but I'm still not convinced that she wasn't a real angel, even though she looked at me like I was crazy. Um, Maybe I am crazy. I don't know. But so yeah, I've changed a lot since going to prison, and I I don't know. I mean, I've grown up a lot. Like I guess I was kind of a late bloomer. Like my parents kept me real like sheltered, so when I finally left my parents' house at 18 years old and went to live on my own, I kind of started wilding out a little bit. Like I'd never really had any freedom. So, you know, I learned a lot of lessons the hard way. So, but it's a it's been a journey for sure. Nice. Yeah, I love it, you know, when you just know that this is where you're supposed to be. So, I don't know how long I should make this live. I mean, I've already been on here almost an hour. Only got 8 people left in here with me. It kind of sucks. I got almost 1,200 subscribers now, but I guess everybody's busy today. What would I do different if I were a warden for a day? Okay, so I would really push art programs and educational programs. Like when I was in Trenton, there was like zero. There was nothing I could do. They didn't offer any kind of educational classes. They finally ended up getting a foreign language, and I signed up for that. And I used to, I think once a week I would go down to this computer lab, and I would do Rosetta Stone classes on a computer. And I could already speak Spanish fairly decent, but you know, I want to learn. You know, I want to expand my mind. I want to evolve. I want I want to become better every day. You know, and when you're just sitting in a cell with a freaking TV, you know, you're not gonna get any. You're not gonna get any better. You know, it's just stagnating like that. So that's one of the reasons. Like I took up sculpting. I got bored one day and I just crushed up a bunch of soap and I started sculpting things out of soap. And people were just blown away. They were like, "Oh my God! Like, how long have you been doing that?" And I was like 5 hours." And then nobody believed me. Nobody believed that I never sculpted anything in my life, and I just picked up that soap and just started making like I made a Buddha sculpture that looked like a little human being. Like it looked like it was something that you would see at like a Buddhist temple. Like I'm not even lying. Matter of fact, I've been saying like I need to make another one of those because in the middle of the night, the CERT team, you know, like the SWAT team in prison, the shakedown guys, they came in and they stomped that sculpture with their boot flat on the floor, and oh, okay, well maybe that's why nobody showed up. Maybe they're mad at me because I said something about secret societies. Save your taxes, cash out, anything over 600 gets turned to the IRS. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's good to know. I mean, I doubt I'll ever even make $600 off YouTube, but be cool. I would love, man, I would freaking love to just be able to smoke pot and hang out and talk to people and get high and just talk. Uh, you know, that's a that would be a dream come true. Because right now, like I can't smoke pot. Um, but I really want to bad, but I can't. Like I got things going in my life, like my job. Um, but yeah. If it ever comes to that, right? Well, when I'm smoking pot, I smoke it so much that they're really basically I smoke it so much that I don't even get high from it anymore. It's just like I stay high all the time, and after like a couple days, it just it's just keeping me normal after that. What's up, Tommy? Oh, nice. Thanks for stopping in, bro. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, you didn't really miss a whole lot. I've just been rambling about random things, trying to just answer people's questions and stuff. I made some biscuits and gravy. It's something that we eat a lot down in down south where I'm from. Yeah, well, you also live in like Amsterdam, though, don't you? Like everybody smokes there. Like you're weird if you don't smoke in Amsterdam, I think. I'd really like to visit there, but yeah, I'm hoping America will will be like that soon. Everybody said, you know, oh, okay. So, um, everybody said like we're one of the last states. Tennessee, well, weed is not legal in Amsterdam. Oh, that's crazy. I've always like watched the videos of like the coffee shops and seen everybody just smoking weed in the coffee in the diners and stuff. But I think maybe I have heard that it's actually not legal, but it's just tolerated and they don't mess with you for it. But weed is legal in like 38 out of 50 states, and I just and unfortunately live in like one of the last states that will ever legalize it. Um, like I don't really get involved in politics much, but if one of these assholes would legalize pot, I sure would appreciate it. There's a thing called Kidububid Blid Belid. So unless you cause a lot of trouble, they don't arrest for it. Okay. Um, well, that stinks. I wonder if there's anything I can do about that to so that people get notifications. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully, me and Joe can like put out a good video and like, did you guys see the one about the kid? That kid that's not even gonna go to prison, man. Like, and plus his whole story was full of holes. Like, he got a fucking charge for going in the garage with a baseball bat or something like that. That shit's fishy. But anyway, that shit got like almost 200,000 views, and my story only got like 15,000. Like the first part got 15, the second part got 10, the third part got like 6,500. So, what is a euro? A euro is less or more than a dollar. How many dollars does it take to make 1 euro? So, like, what does that equate to in dollars? 35 to 55 euros. You can actually buy weed here at the gas stations in Tennessee. Like, I could go a mile down the road to the gas station and buy. Okay, so euro is a dollar and a couple. So it's basically the same thing. So 35 to 55 bucks for 5 grams. That's kind of expensive because pen. I can buy 6 gram dab pen. You know, it's like a vape with live resin in it, and that shit is fire. Uh, and 6 grams of it, and it takes 4 grams of weed to make 1 gram of wax or live or concentrate. You know, so I you yeah, I can buy a 6 gram live resin pen for like 40 bucks at the gas station, and it's legal, but technically it's like uh, it's either Delta 8 or Delta 10, or they've got all these like it's still weed, but they take out the Delta 9 part, and but it still gets you high as hell. But you can buy legal weed at the gas stations that gets you high, but it still makes you fail. It makes you test positive for THC, and I have to take drug tests, so I can't. Like I could legally be buying and smoking weed right now, but it's because of my job. If I was to fail a drug test, I would lose my job. Oh, okay. I think in Nashville, here in Tennessee, I think less than you can carry up to an ounce on you, and it's like decriminalized. It's not a crime. I'm pretty sure. But like I said, it's all that legal stuff is at the gas stations now, and the cops don't really sweat you for it. Right? Yeah, it's not legal under United States federal law. You're right. You guys want to hear a story? I was just talking to a girl that had subscribed to the YouTube channel. She hit me up on Instagram, and we were talking last night. I've been like binge watching this show. Like I rarely ever watch TV, and still, pretty much, I've not been. I shouldn't say I've been binge watching it. It's just been playing in the background in my house, and while I've been doing other things or been on the phone. So I've not even really been paying attention to it. But I've been kind of trying to watch this show, It's been on for like 2 days straight. It's called Signs of a Psychopath. I don't know why I watch like true crime stuff is just interesting to me, especially like serial killers and people that chop people up, because I can't even fathom doing that. But I guess that's why I've always wondered, like, why do I like serial killers so much when I'm such a nice person? But I've talked to several other people that are like that. Tobacco is $15 for 30 grams. Yeah, that's pretty wild. I think, yeah, you can buy like a pound of it here. You can buy a big old bag for $15 here. Um, but yeah, so I'll tell you guys this little story. Um, Even though there's only 9 of you, but other people are probably gonna watch this later. Anyway, we were talking. She was saying the same thing. You know, she watches the same show, and she loves the ID channel, which I'm pretty sure that's where this show came from. It was on Investigative Discovery. But when I was in prison in New Jersey, I was in the hole. I told you guys I spent the whole, a year and a half out of 3 years I was there. I spent in administrative segregation, and it was for, well, a year of it was for smoking weed, and another 6 months was for possessing what we call a stinger. And I'm probably going to do a video showing you guys how to make one. But I got 6 months in the hole for having one, even though it wasn't put together. Like, I would put it together to cook my food, and then I would take it all apart, and then I'd put a piece of it over here, a piece of it over here, a piece of it back here, and so it didn't look like I had a stinger, But they still charged me with it. But what you do is you take a pair of toenail clippers, or you can take any metal. And also, this is the same way that you cook moonshine. So when I show you guys how to make liquor, uh, you'll see me make one. But so you take an old radio or a fan or something, like if a fan goes out and the motor blows up, you don't ever throw it away because you want to keep that cord. So you cut the cord off and then strip the wires back where you made the cut, and then you take a pair of toenail clippers and break them in half. What was that like? Did you have like options to talk to someone and communicate with other prisoners? Um, so yeah, in AdSeg you go out once every 5 days. I actually used to go out there and play basketball with a famous rapper here in the United States. His name's Max B, and I used to beat him at basketball. Even though he was like super fast and he was super good at like handling the basketball and all that, I'm just big and he's a little short guy, so I would get all the rebounds and like he couldn't beat me. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I used to beat a famous rapper at basketball all the time. But we went out once every 5 days, and also I told you guys the story about the guy they called Peru that him and his brother had chopped up a teenage girl. But I didn't know that when I was playing basketball with him. I didn't find out what he did till later. But there's a video about that on my YouTube channel. But yeah, so basically, in AdSeg, you're locked down all the time. You can send notes to each other, and what you do is like you rip off pieces of your sheet, and you rip off a bunch of strings, like thin pieces of your sheet, and you tie them all together, like as many, make it 100 feet long if you want to, and you tie them all together, and then you'll like tie like a sock onto the end of it and put something heavy in that sock, like an orange or an apple. Yeah, orange is better because the apple will break and get juice everywhere. But yeah, you drop like an orange in there, and then you reach outside the bars and you swing it around, and you put little notes in there in the sock, and then you swing that orange around and throw it way down, or you'll throw it over the bars. If like, so Kevin, he was down on the first floor and I was up on the seventh floor. So if me and Kevin, like Kevin sent me some cigarettes and stuff for my birthday, but basically, yeah, if you want to send it up, you throw it up, and you gotta do it just right, to make that orange go up and over the bars. And they do have like runners out that they let out to like pass food and stuff like that. So the runners will help you. Like if you're trying to like, well, if the runners are out, you don't even need to use a what do they call that? Fishing line. They call that fishing. But yeah, if the runner's out, you can just hand the note to the runner, and the runner will take it to whoever you want to give it to. But If everybody's locked in, you got to use. So it's crazy. Like fishing, it's actually an art, man. Like you can pass stuff to the guy in the cell next to you. You got to take like a coffee bag and tie a string to it and throw it under your door and make it hook around so that it comes under the next door. But it like that sounds like hard to do. But when you're stuck in a cage for 24 hours a day for years at a time, like you figure it out, you get good at it. So like I could put something in a coffee bag and throw it under my door and make it come back under my next door neighbor's door, so we could pass stuff back and forth. Um, but oh yeah, I was talking about the ID channel. So I was in Ad Seg, and my neighbor, he was this guy. Everybody called him Moose. He was a big old like 400-pound guy, and he kept knocking on the wall. And I would look, and there was like a little bitty tiny hole in the metal. The walls were made out of like metal, and they were like fastened together with like rivets, like in a big battleship. You know, like in boats, how they have those steel holes with like the riveted edges. So that's what the cell walls look like. But there was a little tiny hole like that big, and people you could pass kites through those holes. So Moose would knock on the door, knock on the wall, and then I'd see he's pushing a little kite through. I'd get it and I'd read it, and it'd be like, "Hey, country, have you heard anybody? Have you heard anybody talking about me?" So do you get to talk to people even though it's not in a normal way? I mean, yeah, but you have to yell, and everybody else hears it. Um, so like if I would talk to Kevin, but and also it's hard because everybody else is talking all at the same time. But yeah, you yell out for people and they yell back to you. But if you want to talk privately, you got to send them a kite. Otherwise, everybody in the pot like so. One day I was coming in from rec and I was all red faced, and the cop was like, he was like, "What are you doing? What you been out there? Why are you so red? You been out there working out?" I said I was playing basketball, and dude was like, "He's like, you can't play basketball. You ain't no good at basketball." I was like, I said, "Ask Max B if I'm any good at basketball," and he was like, "What?" And so my friend Shrek was coming in after that, and like Shrek was like he was the leader of the Bloods, and the cop said, "Shrek, man, what's up with your boy? Did he beat Max B at basketball?" Shrek has a lisp. He goes, "Country, stay shitting on Max B." And everybody heard it, and so like everybody was like, "Max, man, you let that white boy beat you," and he's like, "All right, all right, all right, all right." But yeah, that was pretty funny. Um, but anyway, so I get the kite from Moose, and it's like, "Have you heard anybody talking about me?" And he sent me several of them, and I'm just like, "No, bro, like nobody's talking about you. Like, why? Quit bugging, dude. Like you're tripping." And it wasn't long after that I got out of AdSeg and I got sent back to my cell, and they had just gotten cable TV, and we had the ID channel, so I'm watching ID, and I keep hearing them talking about saying the name Richard Debo. And I'm like, man, I've heard that name before. Like, why does that sound so familiar to me? And then, like all those ID shows, most of the time it's like actors like reenacting scenes, but they actually cut to a courtroom scene of the actual footage of this guy, Richard Debo. And it was that dude, Moose. And so what he had done, this girl, like, basically wanted her husband dead, so she made this dude think that he was going to be her boyfriend and tricked him into killing her husband so that they could be together. But she wasn't going to be with him. She just wanted her husband dead. And then after the dude found out that she wasn't going to be his girlfriend, he told on her. And I guess that's what I don't know if somebody told him, like, "Oh, they're about to have your case on TV," and he knew we were getting cable. Like, I don't know, but dude was like, have you heard anybody talking about me? And then, like, just literally days later, like, I saw him watched him on TV. Yeah, yeah, it's that's some crazy memories for me to think about. I'll tell you another thing. So I just talked to Kevin the other day. He called like yesterday, and he said that a lawyer is going to be calling me, and Kevin is good with the legal work. You know, he's good at filing motions and lawsuits and stuff. And so he's got a lawsuit filed right now against the New Jersey prison system. And I'm actually one of the plaintiffs. Like, I'm in the lawsuit too. He filed it on behalf of me. And it's for the the way they treated us, you know, the conditions that we endured in back there. And so I probably almost died. I don't know, maybe I didn't. I'm real tough, but my water stopped working, and I kept telling the cops like, "Hey man, my water ain't working. I ain't got no water in here. Like, you got to fix my water." And the cop was like, "I'll fix it whenever I feel like it." Well, no, I was nice about it, you know, for a couple days even. Like, I didn't even. I was just like totally respectful, and the dude just kept ignoring me, and nothing was happening. And you know, it's so hot back there that they come through, and like, we had little styrofoam ice chest coolers, and my shit was so old, like, and it had like mold and shit growing in the cracks. And anyway, we would line it with like a garbage bag, and they would come through and give us like a scoop or two of ice, and we would put it in our coolers. And anyway, my water stopped working, and I didn't have any water. And like, I woke up in the middle of the night just dying of thirst with nothing to drink. And I drank that fucking cooler, that melted ice that was in my cooler, and it had bacteria in it. And I got so sick, like my stomach, it felt like somebody was stabbing me in the guts. And yeah, that was bad. I got super sick from drinking that nasty, stagnant, bacteria filled water because the police wouldn't get my water fixed. So the next time a cop comes through, I'm like, "Hey man, you gotta get my water fixed. Like, I'm about to die in here." And the dude smarted off to me. He's like, "I'll fix it whenever I feel like. I'll get it fixed when I feel like getting it fixed." So I was like, "All right." And I yelled out to the runner. I said, "Hey, bring me the phone." And he brought me the phone. I called my mom. I was like, "Mama, you need to call Chris Christie, the governor, whoever you got to call." But these people were trying to kill me in here. They won't. It's burning up hot. It's 100 degrees. I have no water, and the cop just smarted off to me. And like, I've been telling them for days, and they won't fix it. So I get. My mom was like, "Okay, I got you." And I hang up the phone. Literally, like 15 minutes later, these motherfuckers are fixing my water. But that's how it is. Like, if you don't got nobody in prison to do something like that for you, like my mom, you know, they're gonna treat you however the hell they want, and there's nothing you can do about it. Um, I hope so. I hope so, man. Um, no, they don't take care of you. I broke my foot playing basketball, and I kept telling them for a week. I was like, "Man, my foot. I'm pretty sure my foot's broke. Like, I need to go to the doctor," and they wouldn't let me. And finally, after I raised hell about it over a week, they took me down there and X-rayed my foot, and they're like, "Yeah, your foot's broke, but it's already fusing together now. There's nothing we can do about it." So like, I could have probably sued the. I could have. It's. I'm sure it's too late now, but I should have sued them over that because I've asked and asked and asked to go to the doctor. They wouldn't let me, and then once I got there, they X-rayed it, and they're like, "Yeah, your foot's broke, but now it's too late to do anything." But yeah, if I could turn this into my job, man, that would be freaking awesome. And I don't like it's crazy because I hadn't even thought of it. Like, I'm always thinking like, well, what kind of video am I gonna put on my YouTube? You know, what's gonna interest people? And it's like I never know what to do, but then things will just pop in my head. Like, I was talking to that girl, and she said something about the ID channel, and when she said something about the ID channel, it made me think of that time about Moose, you know, and seeing him on TV after he was like, "Hey, have you heard people talking about?" He was like tripping out. And I'm like, "Dude, what are you bugging out about? Nobody's talking about you, bro." Yeah, I think everybody left but you, Andes. What's your real name anyway? I don't know what to call you. Oh, there's Gr. They're still here. You mentioned being a faithful man everywhere I look, everywhere I hear regarding men in relationships, dishonesty, cheating. These are men. Yeah, yeah, that's true. It's like that. My take on that, like I agree with you. Oh yeah, I did know that your name was Eddie. I forgot though. Sorry about that. Yeah, my take on that is you're absolutely right. Like, and I said I wasn't going to get into all that political stuff, but we are bombarded. We are our children are made to see like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and you got like 12-year-old girls singing about, you know what I'm talking about, WAPs, and they're turning us into whores. You know what I mean? Like we're exposed to like porn. You know, now that with the internet, like, you know, but I mean, I seen porn when I was like 8 years old, but like I still believe in being faithful. You know, I've been on here for the last hour. I've been on here for an hour and 22 minutes, Kim. Surviving because of Popcorn Sutton. Oh, I'm here listening in between. Okay, Onyx Angel, you must have a different name than on Facebook. Um, but yeah, Kim Sutton. I was living in Sutton. I was living in Sutton, West Virginia when I met Kim Sutton, and yeah, there was a lot of little synchronicities there. But yeah, we've been friends ever since. I commented on one of her comments. Oh yeah, Kim, I'm gonna play that Harvey Danger song for you. You want to hear me play it right now? Yeah. What's up, Dave? But yeah. So yeah, Kim had commented something because somebody was said something was boring, and she's like, "Bored, then you're boring," and I was like, I said something about Harvey Danger, and she's like, "What's that?" I was like, "You never heard of that?" So I sent her the link to that song and like started a whole friendship. You want to hear me play it? All right. Probably gonna mess up, but it's cool if I do. I ain't that worried about it. What up, Dave? How you doing, bro? Alright. APS just went live. He has a blue dot. Maybe the rest was there. Oh, maybe. That's a that's a pretty good possibility, I would say. Joe's way better at YouTube than I am. Like he's been doing it for what, like 8 years now. It's crazy. I was just looking at his like the first videos he made when he got out, um, and to look see how much like I still look exactly the same as when I got out. It's weird, but like he's gained so much weight and he looks so much older. Right. Yeah. Well, I could only hope that I can get as good as he is at it. I don't know if I ever will or not, but I'm giving it my best, I guess. Want me to play this song? I'm gonna give it a shot. I had visions, I was in them, I was looking into the mirror to see a little bit clearer, rottenness and evil in me, fingertips and memories, I can't forget the curves of your body, when I feel a bit naughty, I'm running up the flagpole and see who salutes but no one ever does. I'm not sick, but I'm not I'm so hard, 'cause I'm in hell. Been around the world and found that only stupid people are breathing. The creed's cloning and feeding, and I don't even own a TV. Put me in the hospital for nerves and then they had to commit me. Told them all I was crazy. They cut off my legs, now I'm an amputee. Goddamn you. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And I'm so sick, 'cause I'm in hell. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And it's a sin to live so well. I wanna publish scenes and rage against machines. I wanna pierce my tongue. It doesn't hurt, it feels fine. I like to turn on the time, kill my mind. I don't think that's right. I'm paranoid, and everybody's coming to get me. Say you never met me. I'm running underground with the moles, digging holes. Hear the voices in my head, I swear to God, it sounds like they're snoring. If you're bored, then you're boring. The agony and the irony, they're killing me. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. I'm sick, 'cause I'm in hell. I'm not sick, but I'm not well. And it's a sin to live so well. There you go, Kim. That's the song that caused the friendship to grow. Thanks, guys. I did mess up once or twice. I knew I would. That was a song called Flagpole Sitta by Harvey Danger. They're kind of like a one-hit wonder from the late 90s. Like, that song was popular, I think, when I was a senior in high school. But I always liked it. You're welcome, Kim. Thanks, Eddie. Turtles, I bet you if I go outside and just start talking, they'll hear me and they'll come. Look, I got BB a new bed. She has skin problems. Always like bleeding somewhere. Like she's always got little like scabs on her and stuff. And I got her that new bed and it's already like gross. So I'm just gonna start putting a blanket over it. Here, turtles, where are you? Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael. Come on, guys. Dinner is served. Oh, that shirt that you made for me is at my mom's house. Oh, wait. No, it's out in my truck, I'm pretty sure. I'll go out here. I think it is. Yeah, it is. I did bring it with me. I'll get it here in a second. Where you at, turtles? Come on, guys. Nope, that's Harvey Danger. Um, I can play a few Smashing Pumpkins songs. I like the song Disarm. You know that song? Disarm you with a smile. Leave you like you left me here. Wither ending now. Um, oh, they'll be here. I guarantee it. I don't think. If they don't show. Oh, yep. We got one. Action in the bullpen. Come on, buddy. I told you. Oh, you want a tattoo? Oh, we got another one. I told you they would come. They hear me. Here they come. You want to see some tattoos? I got you. So, I'm gonna take my sock off for this one. I don't know if I can make this happen or not. Hold on. Okay. This is an octopus. I like octopuses. I like octopi. It's actually not finished. I need to finish it. It doesn't have 8 legs yet, but yeah, that's an octopus. And yeah, right. I got that from my best friend. His name is Fred over there. He's really my brother. He's my brother from another mother. But he lives about an hour. No, I did not get that in prison. If you want to see the prison tattoos, I did this one. So that's my state number right there, 708-166. That's my New Jersey state number. Like, I was in Adseg in a supermax prison, and I felt like the world had like thrown me away. Like they might as well have killed me, you know. And so that was me flipping everybody off in the electric chair, like, fuck you guys. And I remember the nurse, like I was saying, how it was so hot back in there. Everybody just stayed in their boxer shorts all the time because it was just miserably hot. And the nurse came, and I was like in my boxers, and they were all Haitians, and she's like, "Do your mama know you got that, Gentry?" And I said, "No, not yet. She don't." But okay. So yeah, this is me being fried and like my spirit coming up out, like the spirit of vengeance coming back to right the wrongs that I felt were done committed against me. That's Jesse James. He's like one of the most famous outlaws of all time, and actually he was my great grandmother's second cousin. So his grandfather is my 5 times great grandfather. So I used to like drive nothing but Cadillacs. I was kind of a little bit materialistic maybe when I was younger. But it's not just because, I mean, yeah, I love Cadillacs as cars, but I worked at a Cadillac plant when I lived in Michigan, and I smashed my whole finger off. Like, see that? I don't even have a fingernail anymore. So you could say my blood, sweat, and tears have gone into making Cadillacs. Yeah, this is from prison. That's from prison. It's a chick with a dude's head. That's not from prison. Although I got the idea for it when I was in prison, but I didn't get it until I got home. Fred did this one. But yeah, it's a hot girl that shot me all on the side because women are gonna be the death of me. What else do I got? I really like owls. So this is my grandmother, the one that I was talking about. She died of ovarian cancer like in October. I got out in June, so I got to spend some time with her before she died. And this is my grandfather, who's her husband, and this is my mom, and those are her parents. That's my mom, Pam. You guys may have saw her on the video. I'm trying to get my mom to like do like a whole video with me, so we could just, or actually even go live, so like you guys could ask my mom questions like, what did it feel like when your son called you and told you he'd just been arrested for murder? But my mom already knew it before I even talked to her. My mom had already heard. So yeah, that's my dad. This is Popcorn Sutton. Old Marvin Sutton. He's kind of one of my role models. I really like that guy. He was an outlaw too. And I guess you could, so I know, like, yeah, I said I was a normal middle class guy and all that on Joe's video, but after I thought about it, I was like, I'm really not a normal middle class guy. Like, I have lived a really colorful life. Like, did I put my shirt on backwards? It feels like I did. I did. Right. Yeah, I know. So I didn't really deserve the whole New Jersey thing, but I've committed crimes in my life. I used to mess with drugs, and so I've thought a lot. Maybe it was like karmic debt that I had to pay. Like, yeah, I didn't really deserve that, but I got away with a whole bunch of stuff that I never got caught for. You know what I'm saying? So. And I'm really not proud of that. Like, I poison people. I poison my brothers and sisters. I poison people's children and people's mothers and people's fathers. Yeah, right. I should have just left it. Should have just left it backwards. Well, there were victims, people's moms, like people's dads, like. People were addicted to drugs and they could have been spending that money on their children. And I did, like, the whole time, I used to give a lot of stuff away. Like, when I would make money, but then I'd turn around and give half of it away. I can remember buying people's kids Xbox or Nintendo Wii's and video game systems. And I remember one time I was at a store called Steve & Barry's in Michigan, and they had these, like, it wasn't real feathers, but it was like synthetic feathers, like feather coats, like big puffy winter coats, and they had marked them down, and they were like $20 a piece. I bought the whole rack of those coats, and I just kept them. And then anytime I would see somebody that was called, oh, you guys want to see these turtles? They're here. But I gave away all those coats. I mean, I always wanted to be a good person, but I was just, I guess, misguided. I used to do drugs too, so in my mind I didn't see it as that bad. And I would say, well, the doctors give little kids meth. They're giving all these kids Ritalin and Adderall, and I've snorted it before. I know exactly what it does to you. It's speed. And that's how I really kind of got on drugs, is from OxyContin. I did OxyContin, and it was over after that. Here's the turtles. What's up, dudes? Do you have an email? Yeah, my email is jacobgentry222@gmail.com. Here's that one with moss all over his back. That's crazy. Sorry, I'm a little shaky. Um, so yeah, that's my email, jacobgentry222@gmail.com. And but yeah, I've lived a pretty wild life. I really don't anymore. Like I don't. Like I guess you could say like I am still a recovering addict. But I turn down drugs all the time. Like I turn down speed. I've turned it down several times just this year. And wow, that turtle just, oh, I think a fish just bit him or something. That turtle just took off. Um, but the thing that I've really had the most problem with is opiates. Opioid, like I said, the first time I ever, like, so I showed up at my friend's house one day and his eyes were all red. And I was like, damn, are you stoned, bro? Like, what's up with you? And he's like, nah, man, I'm high on Oxycontin. And I'm like, what is that? He said, oh, it's a pain pill. They give it to cancer patients. And I said, well, I don't, I had done Vicodins and Percocets and, I'd been to the dentist and had pain pills prescribed. And I could never tell they did anything to me. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I don't do pain pills. I think I'm immune to them. And he's like, well, he said, I guarantee you you'll feel these. And so about a month later, he just pops up at my house one day and he's like, hey, man, you want to try one of these? And I'm just like, yeah, sure, why not? So he had a 40 milligram pill. He crushed it up on the table. He split it into 3 piles. He gave my girlfriend like a smaller little pill, and we sniffed it. And he took off out the door. And I laid down on the couch and just like nodded out all night. And I could hear my girlfriend back in there puking, but I couldn't even get up to go check on her or anything. Like it was like I was in a dream, like I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep, And when I woke up, the next day when I woke up from that, my life wasn't never the same again. Like I sought that stuff out, and I never wanted to be sober again. And I was on pain pill. I was on Oxycontins. I did it like every day for, well, I don't remember how long, but I had a neighbor, and he said something like, he said, you ever do any boy? And I was like, no, I don't mess with boys. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not gay. And he's like, no, man. He's like, that's what they call heroin. He said, cocaine is girl and heroin is boy. And I was like, nah, I ain't never did that. And he's like, well, my sister-in-law's got some. So, like, I was dumb when I was young, I was always just like, they make that shit look real cool in like Pulp Fiction and like the movies, like John Travolta doing heroin, like they glamorize that shit. And I think I'm pretty sure they do it on purpose. That's why, in music they glamorize drug dealing and gang banging and murder and debauchery, because they really want to steal our souls. But yeah, I did. I tried heroin, and when I did, I realized it was the same thing that I'd been doing. It was Oxycontin. Oxycontin was heroin. I just didn't know it. So yeah, I wouldn't take speed over heroin. I've not been offered heroin. I've been offered speed several times and turned it down, but I'm afraid that I don't go looking for that stuff, but if I just came across somebody and they pulled it out of their pocket, like, I hope I would be strong enough to turn it down. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid of that. Like, it's been years I've not done it, but that's just because I stay away from everybody. I don't really do much. I just go to work and go home and stay to myself. Oh yeah, well, don't take speed or heroin, bro. It's a dead end road. I can't tell you how many people that I know, that I have known, that are dead. As a matter of fact, the girl that I was just telling you about that was back in the back throwing up the first night, like, we tried Oxycontin for the first time together. We both ended up becoming addicted to drugs, and she's dead. She died. She got sepsis from using needles. I guess using dirty needles, and she got an infection in her blood. She walked around with it for who knows how long, and it finally went to her brain, and she cried. Tears of blood came out of her eyes. I mean, maybe I shouldn't be talking about that on here, but it's the truth. So anyway, I didn't get finished showing you guys all my tattoos. So I don't know if you can see this one. Can you see that? That's a wolf. It's not finished yet. I don't know if you can even see that because I can't see. That's a wolf. It's not finished. It's got to be shaded, and I'm not sure what color I want to make the eyes. I'm thinking like yellow or orange. So that's eyes. I've always kind of been infatuated with eyes. So that's kind of like a mashup of one of the eyes came from MC Escher, like drawing. It's an eye with a skull in the pupil, and the other is from a Tool album cover. I really like the band Tool. So yeah, there's that. What else have I not showed you? Oh yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, Elizabeth. Reddish orange, or like a yellow that blends into, yellow, orange, red kind of mixed together. So my lawyer and the legal aid secretary, the woman that sat next to me during my trial, and we were all three supposed to get matching tattoos. And this tattoo is, well, most people here in America call it Lady Justice, which, yeah, we know there's really no justice, but it comes from a more ancient goddess called Ma'at, and Ma'at is like the god of like balance. But if you'll notice, on most of the Lady Justice, the scales they're not balanced, but in mine they are. So I don't think my lawyer agreed to it, but I think me and Rebecca are the only ones that actually got the tattoo, even though he agreed that all three of us were supposed to get matching tattoos. So, okay, that's a reptile eye. These are Norse runes carved into my knuckles. This one needs to be gone over again. It's not as good as the other one. Yeah, it's a reptile. I actually like shape-shifting into a human. So yeah, the runes actually say starseed. You guys probably don't know what that is, but Google it. Right. Well, you can, pretty much anybody that wants to go to a Suboxone clinic or a methadone clinic, you can go and you can get on that stuff. But I was actually on buprenorphine, which is Suboxone, Subutex. I was on that for 3 or 4 years, and it sucks getting off that. Like it's harder to kick than actual heroin. Yes, we are Stardust. But yeah, it takes like 6 months to kick methadone or Subutex or Suboxone, and it's so hard getting off that stuff. Like I don't ever want to be addicted to anything ever again. So I've learned my lesson. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I heard they have better health care over there in those European countries. Oh, you guys want to see my axes? Check these out. This says Berserk. They both do, actually. Pretty sweet, huh? These are handmade. Damn it. Oh, keep slipping. These are handmade by my friend. I got some more on the way too. Okay, yeah, I got more tattoos I haven't showed you. So yeah, I showed you the Cadillac. I worked at the Cadillac plant. Chopped part of my finger off there. So the girl Abby that I went to the sweat lodge with, she has this tattoo. It's called the Helm of All. It's actually like a magic spell. It's supposed to make you invincible. And she also has, oh, she has this one. She has the Volnut. It's this. But yeah, we have some of the same tattoos, me and her. I hope I get to see her again. She was cool. Here, I better put the thing back on this. I got a lot more stuff coming too. Oh, you talking about the skull? Yeah, that's not really a tongue. That's just a glowing light inside of his mouth. And there's a Thor's hammer. And that is an anarchy symbol. I got that when around September 11th, when they started that war with Iraq. Like I knew that wasn't right. They were saying they had weapons of mass destruction and all that. And actually, my brother was in the National Guard, and he was being deployed over there. And I was super pissed about it. I didn't want my brother to die for some war for rich people, so that rich people could get richer. So that was like my protest. I got that anarchy symbol because my brother was getting sent to war, but he didn't actually go. So but yeah, I think that's all my tattoos except for my back, and I can't really show you guys my back. I mean, I guess I could. I guess I can. Hold on. It's a phoenix. Yeah, September 11th. They first went to the Tora Bora caves or whatever, and then Bin Laden just happened to sneak out the back door while they were there. I don't believe none of that shit on TV, but it eventually led into the invasion of Iraq. Right? Yeah, I would have been glad too, Eddie. Yep, the phoenix rising from the ashes. For sure. Yeah, I got a lot of tattoos, and really the only thing that is not tattooed yet is my butt. I'd say it'll probably get tattooed one of these days. Tattoos are like so addictive. But yep, I'm almost full. For sure. I've almost been on here 2 hours now. Yeah. Well, I'm lucky because, like, So this is kind of weird. Like I started growing my hair long because I was gonna dread my hair because I was like protesting. I was being Anubis in a Horus eye. Okay. Yeah, that Eye of Horus. Those are pretty symbolic. Have you ever seen a brain dissected or bisected, like the inside of a brain? That's pretty wild. But yeah, I study a lot of like Hermeticism and occultism, you know, Rosicrucianism, and just all like Manly P. Hall. I listen to him. Um, Sweet. But yeah, so I grew my hair out long to dread because I was gonna dread my hair because I was like protesting. Like I kept making motions for a speedy trial, and the judge kept saying, "Oh, this is not a long time. It's not a long time." And after years and years and years, and I'm like, "You guys aren't getting There's nothing that's happening in my case. You're just keeping me in jail for nothing. Like we could have had this trial 3 years ago." Nice. Um, but yeah, if you look at the inside of the brain, like the half of it, it looks like the Eye of Horus. Um, but anyway, so yeah, I've always wanted dreads, but I've never had them. I still have never had dreads. And then my brother, when I was in prison, he got married, and his best man at his wedding was a tattoo artist, and he's like, "Man, I'll hook you up with some tattoos. My friend will hook you up when you get home." So I go to meet my brother's friend when I was first got out on bail, and I wanted portraits of my mom, and he's like, "You got to talk to Fred for portraits." And so anyway, like when Fred comes out, he's like, "Man, I hate to be ear hustling, but I couldn't help but hear you talking here." And he's like, "Man, we got so much in common, man. It's crazy." And like me and Fred became like instant best friends, like on Step Brothers. And yeah, he's been my best friend ever since. But it's crazy because I was like kind of jealous that my little brother had a best friend that was a tattoo artist, and I was like, man, I wish I had a best friend that was a tattoo artist. And not only did I get a best friend, and not only did I want dreads, but I wanted dreads like down to the floor. And my best friend Fred, he has dreads down to the floor, exactly what I wanted. And so yeah, it's crazy how life happens sometimes, you know. Yeah, my hair actually gets a lot lighter than this if I was to be out in the sun, but like I drive in a truck all the time, so I'm never really in the sun. But if I was to be out in the sun for a month every day, my hair would turn almost white. Um, so at first I was thinking I would interview my mom beforehand, but it's like I'm not that good of an interviewer. So I think what would be the best would be to go live with my mom and let the people ask her the questions that they want to ask her. I think that would make for a better video, I think. Hey, thank you. That's funny that you say that. Like, G, my dad threatened to send me back to jail when I was out on bail because my hair was longer than this. Uh, when I first got out, I hadn't cut my hair in 7 years. I stopped cutting it, and I said I'm not cutting my hair until I'm free. And so my hair was down past the crack of my ass, and my dad told me if I didn't cut my hair off, that he was gonna revoke my bail, like he was gonna send me back to jail because my dad had bailed me out, you know. And I told him, I said, go ahead and do it. I ain't cutting my hair. And but I had said that my mother is the only person that I would cut my hair for. And my mother asked me on her birthday, which is December 6th, which was 2 days before I started picking the jury for my second trial. My mom, and she cried. She cried when I cut my hair too, but I did it for her. But my mom asked me to cut it on her birthday, so I did it. And I donated it to. I hope it got donated to little girls with cancer, but you never, human hair is expensive, and you never know if that woman just kept it all and or sold it or something, But supposedly I donated it. Right? Yeah, I've not touched my hair in years. Well, the little I cut the little parts around my ears because they like stick out and it aggravates me. So I trim, but that's almost like when I'm shaving, like I cut into this little part, but that's the only part of my hair that gets cut. From your mom, I would mostly be interested how she felt while you were in, what it was like for her, and how it felt for her when you came out. Yeah, those would be good questions. I know it was rough on her. I know it was, and I know, even still today, like when I go home on the weekends, she'll just look at me sometimes and start crying and just say, you know, I dreamed of this, and I'm just, it's really like it's hard for me to get down about anything in life because all I got to do is think, well, I should, you know, if but by the grace of God, I would still be locked up in Trenton right now, so I can never complain about nothing. Yeah. Oh, I got another tattoo I didn't show you guys. Oh. Well, you can't really see it, but that is the cover to 40 Ounces to Freedom by Sublime. When I was 15 years old, like I always wanted that tattoo since I was 15. I think I got it when I was like 21 or 22. So yeah, that tattoo is like 20 something years old. Yeah, yeah, I can't even imagine what that would be like because I don't have any children. I mean, I guess like I'm so close with my nieces and nephews, like they're almost like my children. Like I love them so much and they love me so much. So like that's the closest thing to having children that I could ever imagine. And yeah, I can't imagine anything happening to any of those babies. It would mess me up for sure. And I would go to jail for any of them. But yeah, yeah, I think that would be a good video to make with my mom. I mean, she said that she would do it, but I think she's like afraid of my dad getting mad at her for doing it. Right. Well, my mom was definitely she definitely held me down through that. I might not have talked to her every single day, but damn near it. I didn't go more than about 3 days in a row without talking to my mom. But phone calls were like $7 for 15 minutes. So I had an annuity with like $10,000 in it when I got locked up, and I cashed that in, and I spent that whole $10,000 on phone calls, food packages, books, ramen noodles. But I didn't want for anything while I was locked up. I had all the books that I wanted. I had all the food, you know. I know Joe does some like prison cooking videos sometimes. Maybe I'll show you guys what I do with ramen noodles one of these days. My favorite thing to eat was we got clams. Yeah, over 7 years at $7 a phone call. Yeah, that adds up. That adds up real fast. And like ramen noodles are 25 cents a piece here on the streets, but in jail, in county jail, they're $1.25 per ramen noodle. Well, you're not missing a whole lot, Eddie. Ramen. I mean, for a quarter though, like if you're trying to save your money, like I got ramen noodles right now. There was a time when I said I would never eat ramen noodles ever again. These are exclusive flavors though. Creamy chicken, you ain't getting that in jail. And pork flavored. There's also no, they did have the roasted beef. They had the roasted beef in jail when I was there once. But you had to get that off the food package. That's an exclusive flavor. Most of the time in jails, all you can get chicken, spicy chicken, beef, spicy beef, shrimp, chili, or spicy vegetable. And that's usually all the flavors that you'll get. It was a try 13 and 17 in Arizona back in 2017. Wow. Yeah, that's nuts. Now, so I was telling you guys, right, and they all pretty much almost taste the same. It's just different seasoning packs, you know, that make it taste a little different. But so now, phone calls are they're not knocking people over the head like they used to. So I talked to Megan, the girl that's in Ohio prison, and it's only like 3 cents a minute. So we talked for 30 minutes. I think it's not even 3 cents a minute. I think it's like 2.5. It's less than $1 per call. Oh, how did the prison feed you? You don't even want to know, bro. So this will tell you everything you want to know. Well, no, I did eat everything when I was in the hole. But in population, the food that they serve for chow, I've seen, I can't even tell, like, people are like starving to death and they won't even eat it. Like, they would give us, so it's a whole lot of rice and a whole lot of noodles. It's mostly rice and mostly noodles. And they'll just put different things on it and call it different stuff. So they would have this, one of the meals, they called it barbecue chicken, right? But the sauce didn't taste anything like barbecue sauce. It was like, I don't know what the hell it was, but it was weird. And like the chicken, you could clearly tell that it was waste products. It was byproducts. It was all like gristle and skin and like hard. Like it was the, you were lucky to find a bite that was actual meat, because it was all just the waste. And they would cook that and throw it on some rice and squirt some red weird sauce on it. Yeah, it was super disgusting. On Sunday nights we got a chicken thigh, and that was the best meal that you could get. And it was a piece of baked chicken, and everybody lived for that Sunday night chicken tray. I can guarantee you that lots of dogs eat better than that, and like the tacos and stuff, they would call it tacos and burritos. It was cat food. Like it was like pet food grade quality. That's what I always called it, cat food tacos. I'm not related to Billy the Kid that I know of, but I have been to his grave. I've been to Lincoln County. I've been to the place where the damn spaceship crashed. They call it. They say in. Damn, why can't I think of the name right now? You guys know what I'm talking about. Damn. Why can't I think of that? Roswell. But it's not in Roswell. It's like an hour north of Roswell, but it's just in the middle of the desert. So Roswell's like the closest town to it. Yeah, Roswell. And but yeah, I've been to the sign. There's like a little billboard type sign that says alien crash site. But I've been there. I'll tell you guys another like kind of interesting story. So I was building a pipeline there through New Mexico, and that's when I went. I actually went to Old Mexico while I was out there. But anyway, this is the only pipeline job that I was ever on where they had freaking archaeologists, and they had like these little tripods with screens, you know, like you're like panning for gold, and they were going through the desert and they were screening out the sand and looking for allegedly Indian artifacts. But I know that they were looking for alien shit. I know they were. Because I've been all over, you know, there's Indian artifacts all in Ohio and Tennessee and everywhere else in the United States that I've never in my life been on a job where they had archaeologists looking stuff. And I'll tell you something else. This is super freaking weird. So I should probably maybe I should make a whole YouTube video. I mean, I guess I am. I'm making one right now. So listen to this. There was an Air Force base pretty close to that place where I'm talking about, and I'm literally like maybe a mile at best from that alien crash site. And I would look up in the sky, and there would be like fighter jets, you know, like swooping around and circling each other and like doing like drills, I guess, like training to shoot each other. But anyway, one day I went over to take a leak, and I'm in the desert, you know, and so I go over to like this sagebrush. You know, sagebrush is what tumbleweeds are. Tumbleweeds are like dried up sagebrush that's blowing across the desert. But I go to like take a pee in this, yeah, because I wasn't far from Area 51 is in that's in Nevada, but yeah, I was in New Mexico. And anyway, so I go to pee in this sagebrush, and I don't know how I didn't even see it to begin with, but I start peeing. I look down. I swear to God, this is true. And I was pissing on an antelope head, a severed antelope head. And I know this is, you know, they talk about like cattle mutilations, and like I've seen pictures of that stuff, and this is exactly like what I saw, like totally severed, and it looked like it wasn't, nothing was rotted, like it looked like it was fresh. There was not one speck of blood anywhere, and the cut across the neck, it looked like it had been done with like a lightsaber. Hey, what's up, Brian Mahoney? I'm just talking about when I saw alien animal mutilation. You popped in at a good time because this is crazy. But like I inspected this thing, man, and I don't know why I didn't take videos. I didn't put it on YouTube. I didn't do anything. Kind of like when I met Bam Margera last week. Like, why didn't I go live with Bam Margera? He could have been on my YouTube. Um, I wasn't, so I won't say burnt. Or yeah, I guess burnt is a good word. The word that I would use is cauterized. It looked like it had been like cauterized, and there was nothing like jagged. Like it was a total like one smooth cut all the way across the whole neck. There was no body nowhere to be found. It was just a head, and one of the eyes was like cored out. It had a hole in it like this big around, just a cylindrical. It looked like somebody drilled something in there and pulled out a cylinder of it. Then the mouth was like cut back like this, and you could see all the teeth all the way back to here, like all along the jawline. The mouth skin was cut back, and one of the eyes was like cored out. The other eye looked fresh as hell. It wasn't dried up. Like it was one of, I've seen some crazy shit in my life, and that's definitely up there with one of the craziest things I've ever seen. And I was like trying to like rationalize it. Like, how could this be? Like, what is the, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to make it make sense. Like, why is there a severed head here? Like, could hunters have done this? But no, like if you're hunting antelope, you're not gonna take the time to sever the thing. Like, you're just gonna take the whole thing home with you and gut it and clean it and cut the meat off. You know what I mean? Like, why would you go through the trouble of decapitating the animal in the middle of the desert? Exactly, yeah. And so I couldn't make it make sense to me, and the only thing is that it was aliens. But yeah, it was an antelope, and it was, and the fact that it was like a mile away from the alien crash site. You have wild hedgehogs in the Netherlands? That's awesome. I used to have a pet hedgehog. Right? Well, yeah. We I never was out there after dark. We once the sun started going down, yeah, we go home. And like the job site was like 4 hours away from where I lived. Like I was living in Albuquerque, and that we were working because there's really nowhere to live down there. Um, Another time I was at work and we got a flat tire, so we went to a tire store in a little town called, oh, me and Kim talked about this too because she's been to Vaughn, and I told her this story. But I don't know if any of you guys watch UFC or Ultimate Fighting Championship. Uh, but I went into this tire store in this little ghost town called Vaughn, New Mexico, and there was pictures of Diego Sanchez, like posters of him all over the wall. And I was like, you like this guy?" And he said, "Yeah, it's my nephew." So, but yeah, yeah, 4 hours to the job site, 4 hours home every day. True story. And out there, it's super weird because it'll be like 55 degrees in the morning, and you'll have to put on like a sweatshirt because it's cold out there. Yeah, Vaughn was a little creepy little place, wasn't it? Uh, but by noontime, it'll go from 55 degrees in the morning Fahrenheit to like 105 by 12 o'clock noon. I don't remember actually what time we quit work. I want to say like normal, like 5 o'clock, five five at night. So it was like 9 o'clock by the time I got home from work. I went in at 6 a.m. Didn't get home till 9. Yeah, New Mexico. They call it the land of enchantment. And matter of fact, if you guys got Facebook, I'm on Facebook. Jacob Gentry. There's a bunch of Jacob Gentrys on Facebook, but my profile has a pink moon. But it's a picture of me in my trial actually. So there's a picture of me. The newspaper took it. I'm looking straight up like this, and I got a suit on, and there's a pink moon behind me. But yeah, I just posted a memory from 2 years ago because I was on my way out to California and I took some videos of New Mexico. I went to Where was I at when I was taking pictures of the Kachinas? Do you guys know what Kachinas are? Oh, that's nice. But yeah, New Mexico is cool. But after I'd been out there for a long time, like I start missing like green things, like grass and trees, because it's a desert, you know. But when I get into New Mexico and like, or when I'm living in New Mexico and I open up the door and walk outside and I look around, it's funny you was talking about Billy the Kid. I hear I hear the music from the movie Young Guns playing in my head. Like as soon as I walk outside, I feel like I'm a cowboy in a western movie. But yeah, Billy the Kid, he's buried in Fort Sumter, New Mexico, and the place where I found that antelope head, that was in Lincoln County. That's where the Lincoln County Wars were. What the movie Young Guns, it's all about Lincoln County Wars, and that's how like the regulators, they posseed up because the Irish people killed his boss, John Tunstall. Yeah, I always wanted to go to Taos. So I used to be. I guess I kind of still am. Like my dream is to be like to live like self in my own little homestead. So I used to watch lots of videos about Earth ships, and Taos has lots of. There's a lot of them in Colorado too, but Taos, there's little towns down there, and everybody lives in Earth ships. Earth ship is like a biodiverse, like self-sustaining home, and they face towards the south, I guess. So when the sun comes up in the east and it travels around the sky, they've got a glass wall to the south, and they make a greenhouse, so they grow their own little gardens inside their home, and they have a lot of them have like I don't remember if they have like rain catchment systems or what on them, or if they just or how they get their water. Yeah, I think Julia Roberts lives in Taos. Jerome, Arizona. I've not been there. I want to go to Sedona. I'd like to see the Sedona lights. I know they have like a lot of like UFO conferences and stuff in Sedona. I don't guess Trey's still in here anymore. My friend Trey, he met Billy Carson. I think he might have been in Sedona when he met Billy Carson. Montreal. Have I been there? No, I've been to Toronto. I went to the CN Tower in Toronto. I've been to Niagara Falls on both sides. Yeah, Norway would be dope. Iceland would be super dope to go to. I want to go to Iceland and meet Bjork. But yeah, I mean, I want to go all over Europe to tell you the truth. I'd like to just there to like Heathrow Airport and just get a rental car and go to Spain, Italy, France, Morocco. It's weird because I'm scared of Rome, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd make it out of Rome alive. They'd probably get my ass. Belgium, yeah, all that. I want to go to all those places. Germany, Austria, Belgium. I want to go to Holland and Amsterdam and all that. Oh, that's nice. I mean, really, all that stuff's not that far apart. Like, if you can travel the USA, you can travel Europe. You pretty much see the whole thing. Hmm. What I really also like to do is to go see pyramids. I want to see the Egyptian pyramids. I want to see the Mexican pyramids. I want to go to Peru. I want to go see the temples of Peru. I actually almost moved to Belize, and there were like a ruins, temple ruins, like 10 miles away from the place that I was looking into buying a house. Like I could have literally walked out the back door and gone to an old Mayan temple. Chichen Itza. Yeah, I know it's autocorrect. Chichen Itza. But yeah, Chichen Itza, Teotihuacan. I'd love to see all that stuff. Cahokia, Illinois. Yes, I am aware of Cahokia. I've not been there though. I don't know why I didn't go when I was working in Illinois. Actually, uh, also, no, that's not in Cahokia. That's in Ohio, I think. Serpent Mound. I have been to some mounds. My a good friend of mine lives in Moundsville, and they say there's giants in those, and I wouldn't doubt it. I've seen enough now that I don't doubt anything anymore. I've seen articles from newspapers that said that they found 8 tall skeletons in mounds in White County, Tennessee, which is only like 45 minutes over there. Actually, no, I think they were 10 feet tall skeletons. All right. Thanks for tuning in, Elizabeth. I'm about to have to get off here too. I need to eat my biscuits and gravy. I guess it ain't gonna be any good now that it's 2 hours old. right? But yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I'm glad I did this. I was like, I don't know why I dread it so bad. It's like I don't know. I've always just been kind of shy, I guess. I'm not really shy like in public. Like I don't meet a stranger, you know. It's easy for me to just talk to strangers in public, but the fact of like going on the internet and just having where like a million people can look at me, like it just kind of trips me out. Yes, sir. You too. All you guys, man. Thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna eat my stuff, and I don't know what else I'm gonna do the rest of the day. But hey, thanks, Brian. Guess I need to make that video. I got it kind of like a bombshell I'm gonna drop on you guys. And I almost want to just tell you. There's only like 10 of you here to listen, but I told Joe that I was gonna. He's gonna help me out, and he thinks I should make this video, and so I'm not gonna tell anybody about it until I put it out, I guess. But I told Joe that I would try to make it this weekend, so I need to do that, I guess. But I really appreciate all you guys hanging out and kicking it with me, and we'll do it again soon. Appreciate it, you guys. Thanks again. Yes, sir. You too. I'm not even sure how to turn this off. I guess the X. Yep. Bye, guys.